Hello there, welcome to another exciting show of the SuperCars. Today's show, there are two superstars. One, my friend Coco over here. Hey, Coco, how are you doing? Coco loves cars. And right behind me is the other superstar of the show, the McLaren 570 GT. Just look at it. Looks stunning in this color. Stuff like this does not happen overnight. This amazing McLaren 570 GT is fast. It's an aerodynamic wonder. The downforce and the airflow management on this car is amazing. And that is because McLaren has been one of the most successful racing teams ever. They've given us amazing cars like the McLaren F1, which is still considered to be one of the best supercars ever. Along those lines, McLaren has used all those technologies to develop their lineup. और आजकल McLaren का lineup इतना confusing हो गया है जैसे कि chameleon in a bag of Skittles. Let me explain a little bit. Right now, McLaren makes the McLaren Sport Series, then they have the Super Series, and then they have the Hyper or the Ultimate Series, and then they have Legacy. Sport Series के अंदर there's the 570 GT, then there's the 570S. Super Series may they have the 720S, and then they have the 720 GT which just came out, or Hyper or Ultimate Series के अंदर they have the Speedtail and they have the Senna. To confuse a little bit more, they have the long tail versions and so on and so forth. And you can see our superstar Coco has now gone to sleep because there's so many series she has to keep up with. So we haven't even started talking about the engine of the car. Obviously, this is a very powerful supercar. Its engine is very strong and very powerful. 0-60 times are very fast. Lekin ye gaadi is more about aerodynamics, airflow management, and how the car moves forward and cuts through air more than the engine. So that's why we're focusing a lot of discussion around that point. तो सबसे पहली चीज़ मैं point out करना चाहूँगा यहाँ पे जो इसकी front end है, you can see that यहाँ पे it divides into two. और फिर यहाँ पे you can see these carbon fiber air intakes जो कि radiator के अंदर air को push करते हैं. यहाँ से जो हवा आती है, it goes straight and then it cuts into two. It goes around the body. It also pushes down over here to create downforce so that the car stays planted and it doesn't fly off. And then it also pushes the air above, so again creating downforce. Idhar se cut hoke goes through the radiator cooling ke liye, so that is an effective aerodynamic piece over here. So when the air is directed wahan front bumper se and it cuts through over here, there's a lip over here on the front wheel arch. Hawa yahan se aati hai, it gets bounced by this lip and it goes over and gets fed into this tendon yahan pe. Isko ye log tendon kehte hain. It's just like the tendon in your arm. This looks like that, but the air is sucked in there and then it amplifies and goes into the radiator over there. A radiator mein feed hoke, this air is all going into the engine so that the engine keeps getting all the airflow so that it can keep going forward as a missile. Moving to the back now, you can see again we need this diffuser in the rear to keep the car planted so that the tail doesn't swim around. I love this diffuser which is all in carbon fiber. Just looks stunning and gives the car that extra oomph. And amazing aerodynamics, amazing piece of engineering. This is McLaren's emblem. You can see that curved sign over here. Let me tell you, McLaren pays a lot of attention to detail. The same sign over here, you can see it right there in their headlights. Amazing job, McLaren. You can also see the same curved lights in the rear. This car is so low, you really have to get down on your knees to show you stuff. But let me show you an interesting detail over here. This part is all carbon fiber, and they have put the signature for the car, 570 GT. It looks stunning. That's another attention detail which I really admire about this car. Now let me get up and open the door. There's a button right here which is hidden, so that opens up the door. Look at that. Those dihedral doors are just amazing, and that's another McLaren's signature door, dihedral doors. But I want to share something with you. You see this carbon fiber? There's a carbon fiber tub. The car is basically sitting on a carbon fiber tub, and all these doors and everything are just hanging off that carbon fiber tub. And the benefit of that is lightweight. Sports cars need to be lightweight. You can have a 1,000 horsepower sports car, but if it's not lightweight, it's no use. The 0-60 will be slow, handling will be really bad, it's going to fail at the track. So McLaren, with their racing heritage, put a carbon fiber tub in every one of their car, makes them light and performs amazingly well on the track. So this is the McLaren 570 GT. There's a 570S, and I know I've confused you about that before. 570S is their sports version of the sports series. Please don't mind. And then the 570 GT is their Grand Touring edition. It's still super fast, but they have this rear window which opens up like that. So if you want to put your briefcase or some luggage over here, they have this amazingly designed space for you to do that. So now let's finally talk about the engine. As I mentioned, this car is all about airflow management, but the engine is also a masterpiece over here. Unfortunately, you cannot see the engine because McLaren prefers hiding their engines, unlike Ferraris and Lamborghinis, for which the engines are on display. But this is nevertheless a very powerful engine. V8 twin turbo, makes around 562 horsepower, around 450 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60, 3 seconds, top speed, guess, 204 miles per hour. That is hypercar territory. The interior of the McLaren 570 is an amazing place to be. It's very futuristic. Carbon fiber का बहुत अच्छा इस्तेमाल हुआ है. I love the seats. They're very supportive. They're comfortable. I think I can go on a long drive and still feel very supported and will not have back pain when I reach my destination. So that's a good part. I love the carbon fiber surrounding the screen, which is the infotainment. यहाँ पे there's multiple different things which are very tastefully done. For example, the engine stop button is right here. You press that, the screen comes alive. I see a McLaren's the car showing up here on the speedo, and the graphics are very nicely done. It's high resolution, so it's pretty cool. You press this McLaren sign and it turns on the screen. It's very quick. There's no delay, which I hate in some other British cars, in which if you press on it, then there's a long time it takes to boot up and all. Once you press this, you see some icons over here: phone, media, radio, navigation, so on and so forth. And you go through all these things, whatever you want to do. You can phone calls and so on and so forth. I'm not going to go in that detail. लेकिन मेरा favorite part इस गाड़ी के अंदर जो इस infotainment system में है, वो ये है कि जब मैं AC का बटन दबाता हूँ, I see myself wearing a racing helmet over there. This is where you can direct the air, but this helmet tells you what this car is all about. Amazing job, McLaren. Over here, I showed you the engine start and stop button, which is right here. Underneath, यहाँ पे, these are your selector for driving dynamics. To activate the dynamic modes, you have to press the active button. And then from there, you are in normal mode. फिर उसके बाद, you can go into sports mode. And then my favorite, track mode. Especially when you're in track mode, amazing things happen. The car's dynamics change, the gear shifting change, and the best part is on the speedo, you will see that the speedo changed and it looks absolutely stunning, like you're ready to pounce and win that race. So digital speedo, which is very responsive. Different modes have different looks. Abhi normal mode mein hai, RPM goes up till 4 and then it's the red zone. If I change it to sports mode, it changes and then the RPM goes up to 7 and then there's the red zone. And then there's the track mode, which is my favorite part. Usme you can see that the gearing is right here, speed is on the side right there, and then the RPM becomes more of a bar. And along with that, obviously the driving dynamics change, but I just love the way the speedo looks in track mode. The stereo system is designed by Bowers and Wilkins. Look at that. It looks like an angry eagle eye. Just stunning design, and it sounds amazing too. Other things over here is, this is a busy area, but it's nicely laid out so it doesn't get confusing. Gear lever nahi hai yahan pe. D stands for drive, N is neutral, R is reverse. Simple. So the double clutch transmission is so good in this car that you have these pedal shifters over here for manual shifting, so you want control in the car. If you leave it in auto mode, it's going to do a fantastic job. It's millisecond shifts like that. Other thing which I want to point out over here is this launch button. Now in some other cars, launching the car is very difficult. आपको दोनों gear levers को पकड़ के रखना होगा, brake दबा के रखनी पड़ेगी, फिर 2-3 बटन और दबाओगे, the car will launch. McLaren made it easy. Press the button, launch. You are at a traffic light or a racetrack. You press the button, launch. The car holds the RPM at the best range for the best launch, and it does 0-60 in 3 seconds. Amazing job, making it very easy and simple to use McLaren.